All right, in this video, I'm going to share why I left my job as a $90 an hour telephonic nurse, the challenges that I faced, and how I built a new career as a full-time nurse coach. My health started declining after the birth of my son. A complicated C-section led to nerve pain, chronic symptoms, and a long, frustrating medical journey. Over the next few years, I saw multiple specialists. I had debilitating pain, fatigue, and at one point I even struggled to walk, and I walked with a limp. At this time, I had 15 medications, I had like 19 diagnoses, and no plan to help me. Despite trying everything, I was dismissed. One doctor even told me it was all in my head and that I really needed to focus on psychiatry. That was my breaking point. If I truly wanted to heal, to be a good mom, and to continue my career as a nurse, I had to take matters into my own hands. And that's when I found a naturopathic doctor. On our first visit, it lasted 90 minutes, and she asked so many questions that no other doctor had. I mean, how could they? They had 9 to 11 minutes with me. At the end, she told me there were 8 tests that she wanted to run. And for the first time in 3 years, I felt hope because she believed me. First thing I did was remove dairy and gluten from my diet, which are known high inflammatory foods. I had only organic food and got rid of anything toxic in my house or that I put on my body. She recommended and prescribed a weekly massage and just to eat real food, not to worry about losing weight. So I had no processed foods and started on a few supplements. After my test results came back, you guys, my intracellular nutrients were so low that my body didn't have enough to work properly. My genetics showed variants in specific genes that made it very difficult for me to detox. And that whole clinical picture was causing systemic inflammation, which was showing up as different itises, costochondritis, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed with MS at one point. And the only thing that I had was medications. And medications, taking them daily, 15 of them daily at age 36, was leaching minerals from my body. So I was tired and months away from likely being totally disabled. But my labs were not normal there, and we felt like we finally had something concrete to work on. Now, in 16 weeks, I was off 15 medications and 80% symptom-free. I could sleep, I didn't hurt as bad, I was off daily pain medication and using only natural supplements. Have you ever been gaslit and dismissed by your doctor? If so, leave me a note in the comments. Now, while I was ecstatic about my own healing, my mind was blown. This approach to medicine actually worked, but in conventional healthcare, we did nothing for patients like me. Then one day on the phones, I got a call from a woman my age with nearly identical symptoms. I could hear the distress in her voice. I read the doctor's notes, likely pain medication seeking, but she wasn't. She was me 6 months ago. And in that moment, I realized something heartbreaking. If I told her what I knew could possibly help, I'd get fired. I was a healer who had healed, but was trapped in a system that wouldn't let me help others. Have you ever found yourself in a moral dilemma as an RN? We took the Nightingale Pledge to never knowingly do harm. But what happens when you wake up to the limitations of our training and realize that what we're doing might be causing harm? Driving home from that particular shift at the call center, something supernatural, something spiritual happened. I knew I would never go back to that call center. I had no idea what I would do next, but I knew one thing. I would never put my job, my paycheck, above my patients' well-being. Now, at first, I thought I'd open a clinical practice, do some functional medicine training, help others the way that Dr. Heidi had helped me. But I didn't want to spend 10 years becoming proficient as a clinician. I could just refer to her for the labs. Instead, I partnered with her and discovered something even more powerful. Healing's not just about medicine. It's about hope and feeling truly supported. And that's what actually changed my life. And that's what I wanted to give others. Did you know the United States spends the most money on healthcare and has the worst chronic illness rate in the developed world? Stats like this point to the glaring fact that in some ways we're really missing the mark. Here's the thing. I opened a practice. It was successful. I helped so many people. Then I started helping other nurses do what I did. And now, 7 years later, we have created a well-worn path for other RNs that feel exactly the way that we did. Now, earning a living should be an extension of your values. Nurse life coaching allows you to work with integrity, purpose, and a bonus is you can have time and money freedom as you progress in this profession. If you want to learn more, download our Nurse Coach Guidebook.